All right, here we go. What's going on, everybody? I guess we'll just start with kind of what I talked about last Thursday. And we were starting a smidge early, but who cares? As far as continuing forward goes, I don't know. I'm still undecided. So I think we'll probably try to continue forward, at least doing these every Thursday. As far as the videos every Friday, I just don't have enough of a content brain, I guess, without interaction to really know what to make. So my motivation or my creativity or inspiration is not really there on that front. I'm working on a Halo Flashpoint board. Kind of. I want it to be a multi-purpose board that is going to be used for Shatterpoint and Flashpoint. So it's a 2x2 board. It's going to be snow, and I've been printing and painting a lot of 3-inch grid-based buildings to kind of do like a snow outpost just for something different. I don't have any snow based boards. So I'm working on that. I had to basically strip it and redo it today, so it is drying in its most base layer. And if that works out, once I get that done, we'll do some Halo Flashpoint probably next week. Surely I'll be done by then. And if y'all want to see kind of how that's done, I can do something on that, because I'm still going to need to make a 1 foot by 2 foot and a 1 foot by 1 foot piece to go along with that to make a 3 foot board for Shatterpoint. So I'm going to have to make some more of it, but this is my test subject piece. So, but with that being said, there is a link in the description. If you are a Halo Flashpoint person, there is 1 day left on that giveaway. If you want to know more about that, just click that link. It'll take you to a short. It'll tell you exactly what you need to know. Originally, I was going to announce the winner on the Monday paint stream, but I have not had anything to paint, so I've not been doing those. So maybe I'll go live in here tomorrow or on Monday just for the sake of announcing the winner. We'll see. There is supposed to be the Beyond Winds from the North box for Warcrow coming. It was supposed to ship mid-January. I still haven't gotten anything that it has been shipped. They did send out an email saying that they had received their stock and that the orders would start going out, and that was like, I don't know, a week ago. So, I don't know. Eventually, I'll have some Warcrow stuff to paint, and then we can maybe do some more stuff with that, but until then, I'm just waiting. So we're playing Shatterpoint again today. For those of you who might be annoyed by that, I apologize, but that is kind of what I'm feeling. We're gonna rock the NIGHTSISTERS today, which I have not used. So we've got Mando, Greff, IG, Armor, Paz, and the Covert Mando, same as I've run the last couple games, just because that's what I feel like doing. And then we've got Talzin, Savage, the NIGHTSISTERS, Maul, Gar, and the Super Commandos. I would like a little bit more of a cohesive list for the other side that made somewhat sense, but I've only got what I've got. So I also put a black dot on the struggle tracker down there, so hopefully that shows a little bit better. But again, I've got one little webcam that's capturing the dice and the struggle tracker, so can't see it. I am sorry. I also picked up some red D12 to keep track of wounds instead of using, in my opinion, the terrible wound tokens. Them being only in thresholds of like 1s and 5s is kind of obnoxious to deal with. And you end up with so many damage markers on your characters. It just becomes a bit tedious and messy. So not dealing with that. I'm just playing shifting priorities. I just find it easier to do the second and third struggle with permanent priority objectives rather than like switching on and switching off. You know, I get that there's the other aspect of the tactics ability, I think, in that other game mode, but I do want to get some of the other game mode packs, but I need to figure out what exactly they are before I do that. They also, I think I've seen some pictures floating around of the Rogue One and, well, just Rogue One, themed squads. So like Cassian, Jin, K2, some Rebel soldiers, Krennic, some Shore troopers, maybe. Probably a Death Trooper in there somewhere, I'm sure. That would be a cool thematic batch of squads to pick up. So I'm enjoying Shatterpoint, and it feels less oppressive to me than Legion does currently. I have talked about this on Reddit, which you may or may not have saw a very long post regarding that. Legion, as much as the new edition kind of like reinvigorated my excitement to play, it's almost doing the opposite, because I was really excited for the ARF troopers, and then they come out at $55 for one box of troopers, and that just feels terrible. You've got stock shortages like crazy. You're having to print all your own cards. It's just a weird mess currently, and I think that they have made some very poor choices in how they've handled the not new edition. Things will level out at some point, but if the price increase keeps going the way that it's going, like $55 for one unit feels pretty bad, considering one unit used to cost you like what, $35? I mean, I think you can get the Super Commandos for Legion right now, which is like a 6-man unit, for like $32 or something. And then you got a 6-man unit or a 7-man unit in the ARF Troopers for $55. Yeah, I don't know. I'd almost rather just buy squads for Shatterpoint. I know it's a skirmish game, it's not exactly comparable, but like two $50 boxes and you've got your whole army. Again, it's not directly comparable, and it does feel worse in the short term or the small picture, but in the big picture, it seems better. So I don't know. I'm also going to start working on printing some Shatterpoint terrain to go with the snowboard. Once I'm done printing the Halo Flashpoint stuff, we'll start getting that cranked out, but my printers are slow. I do not have fancy printers. So, with all that being said, we are going to start this. So, again, if you want that Halo Flashpoint giveaway, check the link in the description. Otherwise, we're going to get into it. Future of me is going to be decided kind of day by day. I kind of talked about this before. Doing this is my most enjoyable aspect of doing this stuff. But it really only works if there's people or interaction or something. Considering I'm playing solo, is kind of the only option I got. But I don't know, I guess it does kind of push me to play other random things. I probably wouldn't have played this had I not been doing this, so who knows. Anyways, I'm going to just see who gets a crit first, and whoever gets a crit first, the other team is going to do an action first. So, because I think that's probably the worst outcome. So this is for me, and I'm playing the Mandos, and this is for them. Me, them, me, them. Okay, so I got a crit, so they're going first. Again, I'm just me. It is what it is. All right. Probably would have helped if you could have seen that, but you know, actually turn this light a little, because the dice tray is not like a ton of light. Anyways, so we're gonna shuffle up here and draw a card for the Shadow Collective and NIGHTSISTERS. So I already deployed these people when I was setting everything up. So this right here is Mando, Greff, and IG. This right here is the Armor, Paz, Vizsla, and the Covert Mandos. And you can see the NIGHTSISTERS over there, and Maul and the Mandalorians right there. So here we go. First card, Savage, which is not somebody I know anything about. So also, my cards are here in front of me. The Shadow Collective cards are over here to the side. So to read these, I have to step off camera, and I can't help that. So Savage has Dark Fury. Also, they only have 6 force, and I only have 6 force, so we're equal in the force count department. Choose an enemy unit within range 2. Roll 5 attack dice. Chosen unit suffers 1 damage for each crit and hit Chosen unit is a force user, suffers if the chosen unit is a force user and suffers blank from this ability, that unit gains exposed. Also, I guess because I drew Savage, he's going to be my bounty target for Greff Karga. So if I could wound him with a bounty hunter, that'll get me a momentum, assuming I can remember that that exists, which I probably will not. Furious Rush. Each character in this unit may dash. If the unit is injured, it can use a full advance. When the character in this unit makes an attack targeting a primary attack, it adds 2 extra dice. Characters in this unit have protection and steadfast. When an allied Separatist Alliance primary unit or an allied Dathomirian primary unit starts its activation within range 3, it can dash for free. So I guess if you kept him and Darth Maul near each other, that would have helped. But I guess it'd make more sense if you built Savage into the squad or into the same unit with Darth Maul, so they deployed with each other. But that's... so I guess I'm just going. I kind of want to put him in reserve, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna use a force and do my dash. That's going to cost him 1. That is a dash. And then he's going to advance, pop up here, and hunker. I'll give him a hunker token. That objective. So that is going to move 1 in their direction, which this is Shadow Collective, and this is Mandalorian. So now oh wait, nope, nobody scores on the first turn. I take that back. Pardon my forgetfulness. Okay. So that's his actions to my actions. Mando. Not in love with that draw, but all right. Each character in this unit may dash. There's not anything for me to make an attack towards, so I think we're just going to move and probably hunker, which, again, I don't love. But I don't really want to put him into reserve, I don't think. That doesn't get him close enough to go up at all. Unfortunate. Try not to keep you on that camera angle for too long, considering that camera kind of sucks. Oh, sorry. Back to them. The other Dathomirian saber-wielding person. Well, we definitely are going to spend a force to advance for free. Probably going to be double moving, let's be honest. Is that just force speed, or is there a jump in there at all? Can't see. But that's going to get him here. And that's just his free move, so I can spend... yeah, it's just force speed. So I could spend his second, or his first actual action, I guess, to jump. And that puts him in range of that, and then he's gonna hunker, I think. That's going to give them 2 objectives. So now they go 2 over here and 1 momentum for me. Back to me. We've got the Armorer. She's got Wisdom of the Mandalore at the start of this unit's activation. Choose another allied Mandalorian character. The chosen character and each character in this unit may jump. Now, I might be doing this wrong. I'm a little confused. I'm going to go with Mando for that tactics ability. And because that'll allow him to jump here. And this is the part I don't know, is if he gets that point or not. I'm going to play it that way unless I'm told otherwise. So, also, this terrain isn't range 2 higher, but I'm playing it like it is. So it isn't exactly, but I'm basically playing it like it's the same height as the rest of this stuff, as far as moving and jumping and line of sight and stuff is concerned. Armor, man. Well, that'll at least give me this objective, so... I'll move this way. Yeah. Give me that. Which also, if you couldn't see, the active objectives is the cross down the middle. So the corner objectives are inactive. I don't hate the idea of a game mode where the active objectives literally shift and you don't just have priorities. So like each round, you would draw a new phase 1 card. Again, that could be kind of predictable because you'd know in this setting that basically these corners or those corners would activate, but I think it would make it kind of interesting and make you actually have to shift. So I could use her Hunter and Prey, and that would allow me to jump up and at least contest, which I guess I'm going to do because I could get Shatterpoint here. I haven't used... no, I have not used a force point yet. Make sure I didn't forget to flip something. That's going to allow me to target Darth Maul and jump. Now, obviously, I'm not going to end engaged here, but it does get me in range to contest that point. And if I can get a Shatterpoint card, I could actually engage him. That would be good. So, that gives me... Oh, well, that was only one thing. So I guess she's going to hunker just in case she gets shot or something. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. But she's not going to move, though, because I don't see any value in that. That's going to take me 2 back to here, which is going to give both sides a momentum, because we're back in the middle. All right. Back to them. Talzin, she's got a tactics ability. Obscuring shadows at the start of this unit's activation. Choose another allied Dathomirian unit. One character in the chosen unit may dash. Well, I think... I'm not going to lie, I kind of like the idea of dashing with Savage. Just to try to get into the back line. But then I would have a choice to make with what's it called? Who to activate with the Shatterpoint card, because that could also get him like really messed up, or it could give me a good halt in the back line and end up taking that objective potentially. That's a tough one. I don't know. what else she got? Choose enemy character within range 4. The chosen character may dash. And okay, so I make a move with somebody else. That's interesting. Makes an attack if the defender suffered 1 or more wounds. The unit may use. Okay. So basically, a Dathomirian can steal a little bit of healing from people if they deal damage. Once per turn, when an enemy character wounds another allied unit, after this effect is resolved, 1 character in this unit may dash and make a 5 dice attack targeting that character. So, gotta have a little bit of a rebuttal there. So, do I want to dash with the NIGHTSISTERS, or do I want to dash with Savage? Or, I guess, Darth Maul, but I think I really want to go with Darth Maul because I need... let's just go with the NIGHTSISTERS. Which... it's maybe a better angle, but not by much. Okay. So I don't need manipulating hand. I do think she'd be better replacement to take Savage's place, so I am gonna bring her up. And then I want to hunker, which I think is gonna get me close enough. Yeah, you can't see that on either camera, sorry. Oh yeah, that'll get me close enough to pop up this ladder. So now I can... She's kind of in a good vantage point to help, I think. Okay, so they've only got 1. We're gonna go 1. And momentum for me. Back to me. Shatterpoint card. Convenient for me, I guess. Okay, I am going to use that Shatterpoint card to go with, you guessed it, the Armorer. And I... Start the student's activation, choose another Mandalorian character to jump. Tactics, I don't know if they can be used during Shatterpoint. I don't know why they wouldn't be. I kind of like the idea of getting a free move with so that's what I'm gonna do, because I want to be able to get as much shooting off on some of those people as I can. I'm going to use Hunter and Prey again, because I'll definitely be able to get in range to expose Maul when I get there. I'm gonna lose Hunker. I'm gonna lose Hunker. So, yeah, we're just gonna hop right into his face. So I still have both actions. So I'm going to focus and attack. And we are going to... yeah, we'll just stay in the heavy... We'll just stay in the hammer state. That's fine. So that's going to give us 8 plus the focus for 9. I'll take 1 miss. 3 expertise. That's going to get us a crit, a hit, and a downgrade of one of the saves. Hit. Just got to remember to downgrade one of one of his saves, and because he's exposed, he's not going to get any defensive expertise here. So he's in Dark Rage currently, which only gives him a melee save of 5. And then we downgrade 1. 1 expertise is going to give him 1 save. So that still leaves me with 6, which is the whole track. So we're going to go 2, 3, 6. And we're going to shove. So we're going to go the bottom route. That's going to be 2, 3, 6. A heal, which isn't necessary. A shove. 7. A bleed. And 8. And another expose. So he's going to keep the expose. Oh, well, actually, he wouldn't have even have had that 1 save. But either way, it doesn't really matter because he had the expose thing. So we're going to have 2 shoves. How much? 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. He's going to have 8. Still got expose. He's got strain. Can't do anything with that, but he's going to get 2 shoves, which I went this path specifically just to get him out of range of the objective so that I can have it. So he is close to being wounded and he's strained, so he's essentially a move down because if he takes that strain damage, he would be wounded. So that was great for me. That's going to give me 3. 1, 2, 3. That's going to give them a momentum. Back to them. Ooh. Super Commando. So they could jetpack, they could injure people, they can run away easier, and they've got impact. So I feel like we kind of need to try to get up there and start harassing that middle point. So I think we're going to move, and then we'll probably spend a force to jump. So that's going to put this fellow right in there. And this fellow is going to go over here just to make sure that we get that objective on the way out. Because I don't know if you score at the end of the move or the beginning of the move. I don't know. So we've used 1 move. We are going to spend a force to a jump. And we'll see where that puts us. So we will contest that objective. Hop onto that ledge. And that should give us enough wiggle room to do some attacking. So couldn't quite get the second character in range to take that objective, so not going to get anything on that front, but we can make a melee attack and a ranged attack on the armor. So we'll start with the melee attack, which is going to be 6. Pretty good. And again, I don't know if this counts themselves. I would assume that it does. So they're also going to have a free focus action. What is impact? Okay, so they get an extra one. So they're going to get 2 extra dice. So we're going to have 8 dice on melee. We got 2 expertise in melee. That's going to give us 1 crit. armor is going to have a melee save of 5. 1 expertise is a crit downgrade and a save. Save, crit downgrade. So I'm just going to get the 1 crit through, which is going to be 2 armor. And then the ranged attack from the other fella, which is going to be 5 dice, range 4, plus 2 for the focus and impact. 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yep. Ooh, that is rough. 1 is going to give us a crit. And we got a ranged save of 5 as well. These 2 expertise on save is 2 saves and a crit down. So nothing's going to come from that. The armor might be one of the standout characters of the Mandoverse characters. Her and Vizsla have easily been the standouts. In at least how I've been playing, Mando hasn't really done much of anything. The Covert Mandos are also pretty good. I think I like them the best of the supporting units that I've used so far, maybe. IG, I don't know. Okay. So that was the end of their turn, and that's 2 objectives for them. Just gonna give both of us a momentum. All right, here we go. Speak of the Covert Mandos. Here we go. So they've got jetpack. They're gonna have sharpshooter. No, impact was only for melee attacks, so that wouldn't have affected one of those, but that's all right. Because the only one that got damaged through was the melee attack, anywho. So they're probably going to take sharpshooter for this activation. I don't see them meleeing anybody. Nope, nope, nope. So they got jump. I can jump up there. Theoretically, if I could just hold the 3 objectives, that would be good for me. So I think that we move to get in place to jump here. And we are going to spend a force to jetpack up here. That's going to give them a focus action, and we are going to do some shoosting. Now, do I dare try to start whittling away Talzin or Savage? Savage has 10. They both have a hunger token. The commandos do not, and I kind of like the idea of getting a wound quicker and keeping my 3 objectives. So we're going to shoot, although they're pretty potent. Or they can be. I also kind of don't hate the idea of maybe getting a strain on Savage so he loses an action. And I'm definitely going to shoot one of them with Paz when that. So also that does put us in range to take back this middle objective, so that's something. Let's see, what's my range? 4. So I can only shoot Savage with one of them anyway. So we'll split shoot here and just see what we get. So we'll shoot the Super Commandos and Savage. And since we have sharpshooter, we're going to get 2 extra dice on our 5 dice pool. So we're going to have a 7 dice pool for both of these. More or less. Take 1 miss, 1 expertise is going to give us 2 more hits. Super Commandos have a ranged save of 4. Ooh, that is terrible for them. That gives me 6, which is going to be the whole track, I think. There's only 5-ish, maybe. So we're going to go... I think I want heavier damage, so we're going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the Super Commandos are on 7, which, my lord, these D12s are so much easier to deal with. Thanks, man. Welcome in, Josh. Yeah, this is... Ironically, these rocky hills are things that I 3D printed for this board, which I ended up hating and replaced with a different board. And then I cut this board up to use for something else. And now I found myself still using it as just a plain grass board. I find making boards with these project panels cheaper than buying like neoprene mats. And they do have a little bit more character to them. So, hey. But yes, these D12 for keeping track of wounds is so much easier than what I was doing with D6. But that's just what I had at the time. Anyways, so they're going to get a strain token. They're going to get a disarm token. And I have a reposition, but I don't know if I want to use it. And that would have been from this guy, because this guy is shooting Savage. I don't hate a reposition. Could try to go into the back, but just with one of them, that might be a disaster. Well, why not? We'll just move him over here. And then this fella is shooting Savage, so we're gonna have 7 dice again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One miss. I'll take it. 2 expertise. Gonna get me 3 hits. I'm just gonna count that as a hit. I'm not even gonna try to fish that in. Third one. Savage does have a hunker token, and he's got a range save of 4, so he's gonna have a pool of 5. And he is in Unchained Rage, which all he has. Okay, we got 2 expertise on defense. It's going to give him save and a jump. Interesting. Actually, kind of like that. So we're going to get rid of 3. It's going to leave me with 4. So Savage is going to get... I think I like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on Savage. And he's going to get a strain and a disarm. Seems pretty good. And then he's going to get a jump, which I think You shall jump down here. So, and that is kind of what I was just talking about with the Covert Mandos, is even though they're like a supporting unit, they're still very potent compared to, like, I'm not a big fan of the 501st clones from what I've used of them. The B1s, kind of almost in the exact same boat as the 501st clones. Definitely like the Covert Mandos better. So that is the end of my turn, which is going to give me 1, 2, 3, and no wounds. So 3, and that gives them a momentum. All right, what do we got? The Night Sisters. Making a... Yeah. I just bought some more. I bought 2 more of those project panels. Working on a snow 2x2 for Halo Flashpoint, and then I'm gonna work on making the extra pieces to line it to make it a 3x3 for Shatterpoint. I think I run into a weird middle ground of like not wanting to commit enough to making a designated board and wanting it to be as modular and flat and as useful as it can be, that I don't get the full use out of not just using a mat, but like the texture of even a flat, just plain board like this one is still going to give you a little bit more like realism in the lighting and everything than like a neoprene mat. So it's kind of weird. Actually, the only STL that I really need for Shatterpoint right now is unit trays, and I think I'm going to get those with some terrain STLs that I'm getting from Imperial Terrain that I'm going to start printing once the Flashpoint stuff's done. But I appreciate it. Although I've seen some of those corner jigs that people use for like placing the mission things. That's kind of nice, I guess. But yeah, I like the unit trays for Shatterpoint that have the card sit kind of upright in front of it, so it just takes up less space because these cards are ginormous. Night Sisters. Each character in this unit may jump. If any character jumps, it gains Hunker. Okay. When a character in another Dathomirian unit makes an attack as part of a combat before dice are rolled, this unit may use this ability. If the targeted character is within range 5, gains exposed, so kind of like the clones. Well, this unit has Hunker, adds 1 extra dice to their defense, so get extra defensive. And Night Hunter, when a character in the unit makes a ranged attack as part of a combat action, if targets an enemy character that is engaged with another Dathomirian character, adds 2. Okay, so kind of stabbing them in the back, you get extra stuff. They also only have 1 stance. Well, at this point, I don't know why I wouldn't do some jumping. So we're going to spend a force to do some jumping. And Middle Earth, actually, I have remained interested in wanting to try that. And then they announced the new edition. I figured I'd wait. And then I don't really care for the new edition box. Like, I like the Rohan side, but like the Beastmen or whatever, it just doesn't feel Lord of the Rings to me, and I'm based on just the movies. But yeah, the new starter box didn't really excite me a ton. I liked the Osgiliath box a bit better from a Lord of the Rings perspective, from a movie side anyways. So, probably just a me thing. Well, actually, I might need this to jump somewhere else. So we're going to move first. And then we'll use the jump. Okay, where does that get us? Honestly, I've thought about, because I've heard that the Osgiliath box is still not bad, and it's still fairly useful. I would just have to get the updated book. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a sucker for a good starter box because I just like getting the most value for my money, I guess. And starter boxes are the best way to do that. You get everything you need to play versus like, that's why I like the Beyond box for Warcrow. You get a starter box, and then you get like a little additional kind of portion of the starter box. It's good. And yeah, the fantasy side of the new box is kind of correct. There's nothing about the beastmen or the beast tribes or whatever that like jump out as like fantasy Lord of the Rings to me. I know that it's based off of other stuff, like it is Lord of the Rings, but like visually to me, I don't associate it with Lord. So I'm not like, ooh, hell yeah, you know, ring wraiths and stuff. Like I can't wait to get that. And it's like, it's just some tribal dudes. And the Rohan stuff's cool, but that's only half the box. I also think the terrain and stuff that comes in the Osgiliath box looks a little bit more exciting. I don't know, that new box just didn't. I was waiting and waiting and waiting to see the reveal, and it just didn't hit quite how I was wanting, so I passed for now. Granted, I didn't plan on getting Shatterpoint either, and I found just a super good deal on it on Marketplace and bought it just to have the models, and here I am. So the NIGHTSISTERS technically still have an action. So what do we have in range here? 1-2 to 1-2. So this is contested. They've got. Oh, also they're gonna get a hunker token for using their Dathomirian jumping. So, what do we have? We do not have a ranged attack. Well, that... Oh, no, I'm looking at the wrong card. Because that is rather confusing, considering one's got a bow. But no, we've got ranged attacks. And I am... Ooh. Oh, no, I am engaged with both of these people. So, I could ranged attack with one of these, and I can melee with the other one. Yeah, I've kind of gotten that vibe from a lot of the terrain that seems to be like in wargaming stuff. Thankfully, when I bought this Shatterpoint stuff, it was already all put together, which I would have almost preferred it not to be for painting's sake, because they didn't paint anything. But the terrain, I don't care. I'd put the terrain together and paint it anyways. But even just watching some of the stuff of people putting together various different plastic kit terrains, it looks miserable. Especially considering I 3D print most of my stuff and I just hit go, and then typically it's like a building outline and then a roof that you put onto it. It's just, it looks like a nightmare. So I don't doubt that. And I put together the couple little buildings that came with the bolt action starter box. And I didn't enjoy that at all. And that was like a handful of walls that kind of connected together. So I guess I'm just a lazy brain putter together. What do we got? We got a ranged attack of 6. We'll start with that. Why not? And a character in another Dathomirian unit and another allied Dathomirian unit. Okay. And because they have hunker, well, that's kind of confusing. So they gained hunker, but now that one is engaged, but this one is not. So do they still have a hunker? Does only one of them have a hunker token because they share stuff? Or do they both lose their hunker token because one person got engaged? Through applying the same but not the same logic, I'm assuming that they would lose that hunker token because one of them is engaged. Which, again, doesn't make any sense to me, but if the way that I understand it is correct, that is what would happen. So we got 6 dice on range. And I think this is going to be on the Covert Mandos. That's rough. That's rough. We got 3 expertise on the Night Sisters, which is going to give us just 2 regular old hits. Honestly, Warcrow kind of jumped out at me just because it gave me like Warcraft orc vibes. But part of the Middle Earth kind of disappointment is why I ended up with Warcrow, because I wanted like a fantasy thing. Covert Mandos, no hunker, but we have a range defense of 4. That is tough. And that's just going to be 1 save. So, Night Sisters, that's going to give us 2. That is a pin token on the coverts, and a shove and 2 damage. So, 2 damage and a shove. Yeah. See why not? Hunt that one back a little bit, which still just in range. And then we're gonna melee with the other Night Sister on the armor because it's all I can reach. And their melee is 5. Gross. 1 on melee is a hit and 1 damage. And they've got a default 1 damage in the pull, which I'm just going to have to remember. Armor has a melee save of 5. 2 expertise, 2 saves, and a crit downgrade. So, yeah, we're saving all of that. Perfect. So, you're just going to get that 1 extra damage from the expertise. Been learning skirmish games. Decided to get into Middle Earth again after almost a decade. It was a game that got me into the hobby. I hear that a lot. And I've honestly heard and read and whatever, that the Middle Earth stuff is probably one of the best like game systems that Games Workshop has put out, which makes me want to try it, but does seem a little confusing. Yeah, skirmish games. I started with Star Wars Legion, as I'm a massive Star Wars person. So that was my like entry point. I'd never played anything prior to that. And then I bought. What did I buy? I bought. I think technically next I bought Elder Scrolls Call to Arms, because it was like a solo kind of narrative thing where like you do like delves, and I like Elder Scrolls Online and stuff, so I was like, that's kind of interesting. And then from there I bought Bolt Action, but never played it. Again, I don't really have like a local game store, so I'm just reliant on the people around me to like play this stuff. And then I bought Age of Sigmar when the new edition came out. I bought like one of the medium starter sets of that. That seems kind of interesting. There's some of that on the channel. Warcrow, I think, came after that, and I really like Warcrow. It's got like, it hits that fantasy feel that I wanted like perfectly, and it's got like the way this game has expertise to like modify your attack rolls and stuff depending on the character. Warcrow has something called switches that is very, very similar, and you can kind of spend extra symbols that you get to do various different things. And there's this cool like pushing and following mechanic, kind of similar to what this game has. If you win combat rolls, and you can stress to do other things. I really like Warcrow. I just don't play it a whole lot right now because I'm limited in the amount of miniatures I have. I only have the starter box, and I'm waiting for the Beyond box, which I have on pre-order. I just haven't heard anything about it. The Legion Clone Wars stuff came out. Yeah. Now it just collects dust on my shelves. Yeah, I've heard good things about Spearhead, but again, I'm kind of limited to just what I got in the starter box, and I don't really want to invest a ton into it currently, because I don't have anybody that's like, hey, you want to play Age of Sigmar? So, Oh, they went kind of crazy with Shatterpoint's release. It's like they launched and they wanted it to be big, so they were launching stuff constantly. Thankfully, I wasn't in at that point, so I just didn't care. And I'm a little bit more cherry picking currently, but I do like I think they showed some Rogue One stuff coming. That looks kind of interesting. But it's also a lot easier. I talked about it earlier. It's easier to swallow $50 for half of your army. So you buy $200 boxes and you've got everything you need, versus like the ARF troopers just got shown for Legion, and they're $55 for a single unit in a, let's just round up and say, a 10 activation army. So if they keep going up in price the way that they have been, it's going to get rough. But Shatterpoint's smaller, so you don't need as much, so it doesn't feel as bad. And then skirmish games, technically it's a board game, I guess, was Halo Flashpoint. It's kind of the first grid-based game that I've played, and it's pretty good also, which I think is very similar to the Apex Legends board game that's supposed to come out soon, which I'm also interested in, but I haven't heard anything or seen anything about it in like 2 years. So, anyways, that is their activation done, and that is going to give testing 1, 2. 1, 2. Back to me. I also didn't have any want to play Shatterpoint. I just bought the miniatures for a collection's sake, because I paid $60 for the whole Shatterpoint core set, the Night Sister box, and the Padme Amidala squad box. So it was like $200 something worth of stuff that I got on Marketplace for $60. I was like, I'll buy that just to collect it. I didn't have any desire in having the Padme box, so I just gave that away on the channel. And then once I got everything painted, I was like, okay, actually, I want to play this and see it. And I'm glad that I did, because I put a little too much credit into what other people were saying with broad statements, because it technically is true what they said about Shatterpoint, but in practice, it doesn't feel the way that it is said out loud, I guess. Like, there isn't a lot of killing that goes on, but combat is definitely necessary and a part of it with the way wounding and stuff works. So I'm glad I played it for myself. We got Paz Vizsla. He's got a tactics. Start of this unit's activation. Each allied Mandalorian unit within range 4 may remove 1 damage or 1 condition. Then the allied Mandalorian supporting characters within range 4 may jump, which is nobody that needs it, really. Although, we can remove the... So they've got a pin token, my supporting coverts. And they have 2 damage. So technically I could heal 1 damage or 1 condition. But then they may jump. So can I just not jump and use that to get rid of my pin token and heal 1 wound? That's what I'm going to do. So they're just not going to get the free jump, which is fine with me. I'm not going to worry about the rest of this stuff. I'm going to aim and shoot. Make sure we're in heavy firepower here. We're going to focus and shoot at Savage, because he is not looking too hot, and we could probably get a wound through here, I think. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, it just all looked confusing, and the art style of like the cards and stuff just wasn't jiving with me, and the struggle tracker and all that. But in practice, it's not near as like weird as it seemed, and the struggle tracker specifically is kind of interesting. I just wish I had more missions, which I know there's, I think, 2 other mission packs out, and I think they've shown a 3rd one, so it's not like they're not there. I just don't have them. That's going to give us focus and shoot a 8 dice attack pool on Savage. All right, 1 miss. That's sweet. 2 expertise is going to give us 3 hits. So I'm just going to add 1 in there and just leave those expertise. Savage does have a hunker token, and he's got a ranged save of 4. So he's only got a ranged save of 5, even with a hunker. That's pretty bad. 2 expertise on defense is a save and a jump, which I don't really know if the jump's going to help him a whole lot, but that leaves me with 6 dice on Paz, which is my whole tree. So we're going to go let's see, he only needs 4 wounds. So it doesn't matter which path we go on. So we're going to go I think we might go the top track, I guess. That's going to give us 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he is wounded all day. That's going to give him a pin token, a shove, an expose, a shove, and a strain, which he's already strained, so that doesn't matter. So we got 3 shoves and an expose. So he's literally got every condition on him. That is tough. And we got 3 shoves, which we're just gonna eyeball that and we'll just stick him over there. Yep. So that is my turn. Get a momentum for the wound. And that leaves me with 1, 2, just 2. Just 2. 1, 2. Okay. We draw Gar Saxon for the Shadow Collective. Another allied Mandalorian character may jump. Well, I don't really think they need to jump, but we can absolutely bring this fella up here. And that'll give them that objective. What else we got? I think we move. Yeah, you can still see that. I really don't like using this other camera if I can help it, so. Yeah, we'll just move and shoot, I think. And he would gain a lot from being close to people, but... Oh, let me check Talzin's thing. Once per turn, when an enemy character wounds another allied unit, after the effect is resolved, one character in this unit may dash and then make a 5 dice attack targeting that character. So this is from last turn, technically. So we're going to go ahead and resolve this. Because I always forget the reactionary things, especially with characters I don't use. And a 5 dice attack on Paz. Paz range defense is 5. And he is in cover, but he doesn't have a hunker token, which I thought you had to have. Gotta head to work. Sure thing, man. Have a good one. Try to have as good a day as you can at work, anyways. 5. So cover, he's gonna have 6. 3 expertise on saves is a crit downgrade. And 2 saves. Which is just enough to cancel everything and nothing. Okay, cool. So that was all for nothing, except for now Talzin's down here. So Gar Saxon, though, shooting at the Covert Mandos. We're going to have 6 dice. Three expertise on Gar Saxon. Range is going to be a crit and a shove. So it's just got 2 crits. I'm not going to bother rolling. Well, I guess I could get some downgrades. Now it's just saves, just through expertise. I'm not going to bother with that. He's got 2 points, which is going to give him a total of 3 damage and a jump. So that puts the coverts up to 4 damage. And he's got a jump, which jump him up onto that ledge. Roll A. And that's going to contest that objective. And I guess we could have shoved this guy first. We're just going to... Although, I guess technically you just land over there. Okay. So that gives them 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Both momentums. We are perfectly tied. My turn. IG. That. I mean, I guess there's only 2 cards left. Only could have been one or the other. That's unfortunate, though. Because well, I can get... Yeah, 1, 2 is just going to put me 1 short. That's tough. That's tough. Now, if I could somehow get up there and shoot at Darth Maul, that could work. Let's see. What do I have? So his tactics ability is going to give him a free move. That helps significantly. Because if I can take that objective and wound Maul this turn, that'll win me the struggle. So we'll see. Although I'm going to be engaged with Gar Saxon. I'm going to have to shoot him first and hope I can shove him off. Which doesn't leave me a whole lot to try to wound what's-his-face. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to have to move. That's going to put us right there. He's got a range of 5, so we're good on Darth Maul. Okay, so we're going to have to attack Gar Saxon first, which I don't love. And then I can use the multi-target thread to attack what's-his-face if I can push Gar Saxon off this ledge. So we're going to have a 7 dice melee attack. Oh, tree down, tree down. Two expertise in melee is a hit. And 1 damage in the pool. Gar Saxon has a melee defense of 4. Love to see it. Okay. Save 1. It's 3 points. That is going to give us... I don't love that, actually. So I'm going to have to go down the middle track to get a shove, which sucks. So that's only going to give us 3 damage. A pin and a shove. Pinned. You're just going to shove him backwards off. That's going to give me back objective. You got pinned, 3 damage. 3 damage on Gar Saxon. And now I can use his multi-target thing to make a 5 dice attack on Darth Maul, which I need to get basically everything through here to get that wound through, which is asking a lot. Okay, here we go. I think, hold on. Actually, the Covert Mandos have 7. And I can reach them. I'm going to shoot at the Covert Mandos. That's going to be a more likely success for me. Here we go. I don't love that, but I do love that, though. 1 expertise, 1 crit. Covert Mandos have a range save of 4. Oh, big miss. All misses. So 3 on them is going to give... We're going to go... I think we go reposition here. I don't hate that. Yeah, why not? That's going to be 2. How many do we have? 3? 4 damage and a reposition. I think seems like a good idea. So that's going to wound them. And we are going to reposition that way. Or maybe adding a little bit of pressure in their back line a little. So that keeps me that. These guys can't contest anymore, which means I have 2 to 1. So I take that. That gives me 3 and a momentum for wounding, so I definitely win the struggle. So we get 1 for the wound, and then I'd be like over here somewhere. So leave that guy in the middle. Clear this. And we reset. Well, reset. Both people only have 1 card left. We're going to flip this card. It is their turn. Savage got wounded by Paz. He is not a bounty hunter, so he wouldn't have got momentum. Okay, that doesn't matter. Oh, and their last card is their Shatterpoint card. But we're going to roll a dice, see which one activates. A miss. Well, a miss doesn't do anything for either one of those. But of the chart, the top one makes the most sense. So there's only going to be 1 priority objective for this, which is kind of silly, I guess, but whatever. So that's going to be the only priority objective once it activates. But that broken, or that miss activated that one up there, which is not active. Unless this does kind of what I was saying, and it actually activates the priority objectives, but mark the corresponding active objective token with a priority objective. So yeah, I'm going to assume that they're still not active. Maybe going forward, I'll play it that way because it would be more interesting to have new objectives open up on the field that are worth more. So moving off your current ones to go get them is worthwhile. And maybe that's how it's supposed to be played, but the wording makes me think an active objective, which means this would be the only one that is on that chart that is currently active that would count. So I don't know. Maybe I'm doing that wrong. So no priority objectives for this turn. Their Shatterpoint card, however, I'm going to go with just go with I don't really want to go with Darth Maul, if I'm being honest. Talzin's got a ranged attack of 7. Got 2 force points left. You know what? We will go with Talzin. Why not? So we're going to make a ranged attack on him. So we're going to focus and attack. That's going to give us 7 dice. And because they're within range 5 of the Night Sisters, they get to do their coordinated fire thing, which is going to give as a exposed token. 4 dice are rolled. Yeah, okay. So he's going to get exposed. Here we go. We got 2 expertise for Talzin. That's going to give us just 1 hit. Not fantastic. Paz has got a range defense of 5. And then we're in cover, so it's going to be 6. Yikes. 2 expertise for Paz. It's going to be 2 saves. So that's going to give us 3 points. We're going to go... no, that's unfortunate. Do we have 3 points? Yeah. We're gonna go top track, which is gonna be 2, 4, and a heal, and a free skill usage, which I was gonna do anyways, which basically lets me dash with him. Which now is just not gonna cost me anything. And he's still in range 4. So I guess technically I could do that again because it was a free skill usage that was a part of the attack track. Is that the idea? I don't know. 4 damage on as. Oh, and he was exposed actually, so he wouldn't have saved any of that. So he would have taken a total of 5 on the tree, which gives he's going to keep exposed, he's going to get stringed, and he's going to take how much damage? 2, 4, 6, 7. And where did I just put that? I just say he was going to keep an exposed token or something. Yeah. I don't know where I put it. But yeah, because that was a free use, I guess technically I could still use that skill for the 2 force points. That might be wrong, but we're just going to walk. It's like he got mind controlled and wow, he just walked off into oblivion. Not great. That's their activation. That's going to give them 2 points. My last card is Greff. Karga. Talzin doesn't have any damage, which is not good. But I need to stay close to people, so we're gonna move. Gonna put somewhere around here. Here. Now we're gonna use favorite people are bounty hunters within range 4, which is just Mando. Yep. And he can heal. And then may dash. I guess I don't really need that, actually. So we'll just save that. That doesn't really help me at all, does it? No, it does not. I need to get up that ladder. I can't do that. So I guess he's just going to hunker, which is not great. Oh, I got to roll the dice and see which priority thing activates. Diamond. Diamond is the top left objective, which is also not active. So we need to roll a save to activate that guy. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're just gonna hunker and shift a little bit. So that is 1, 2, 3 for me. 2, 3. And now we shuffle up some cards. And fresh some force tokens. And actually do the same for them as well. Okay, their turn. Here we go. Savage, who is wounded, so he is going to wake up. We're going to get rid of the strain token. Get rid of his damage. Choose an enemy unit within range 2, which he is not. Well, we're going to spend a force, which I guess now is going to cost 2 force because he is injured, but that also allows him to make a full dash. Which... Okay, so it has both actions. I don't know if it's worth me going after Paz. I might just go for that objective because I still have both actions. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to come take this. So take that, and then he's going to hunker. Oh, wait, he's pinned. Forgot he had like all of these. So he might just be stuck there because one of those movements would get eaten by the pin token. So yeah, I guess he's actually just stuck there and he'll hunker anyways. That's not great, but it is what it is. So this stays mine. Oh, and we got to see if they get their priority objective, and they do, unfortunately. So that is now activated. That's going to give them 2, 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Back to me. Covert Mandos. They wounded yet? No, they are not. They are good to go. I don't need to go take that objective because it's priority and there's nobody in range of it. So I'm just gonna take one of these little fellas. I get in range of it somehow with this guy. They're not activated yet, and these two are contesting that middle one, so I need to keep that. Although actually I can shift here. So we're going to move this guy here and this guy here. Then we're going to spend a force to jump. We're going to take said priority objective. And then I guess we're going to attack some. Which I guess in this case is going to be the Night Sisters, because they're the only ones for me to shoot at. Yep. So I'm going to be making melee attacks. So they're going to have impact 1. Not that it matters because they are not getting a focus, I don't believe. They are getting a focus because I am next to the armor. So yes, impact 1, they're going to get 2 extra dice on melee, which is going to give me a melee pool of 7 for both of them. That's fantastic, because I could get a wound through here, because they're pretty potent. They've got a melee save of 4. 1 expertise, 1 save, so that gives me 6. So they're going to take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, which does in fact wound them. And they're going to get a strain token and a disarm token. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they technically would get a reposition, which I don't think I'm going to use. And I'm not going to bother attacking with the second one because everybody that they're in range of, I believe. I guess I could shoot Talzin. Yeah, might as well. The Savage. Well, no, Savage is exposed. Let's go for Savage. We're going to shoot Savage with the other one, which is just going to give me 6. 2 expertise on range is 3 hits. So we just got a bunch of hits. Savage does have a hunker, but he's exposed. He's got a ranged defense of 4, which makes it 5. All saved. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Didn't even need the exposed. Woo. We just got 1. Which we're gonna go for 2 damage. 2 damage. Okay, so that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to them. They got super commandos, so they are waking up, which is not great. Clear that. We're going to clear the strain token, so they're still disarmed. So now that puts them 3-2, which means that they take the middle. Impact 1 is going to give me 1 extra 1 on focus. I think we're going to go after the Covert Mandos here, because I think we'll be able to get a wound through. So we're going to focus and attack the Covert Mandos in melee, which is going to give me a melee pool of 7. Expertise, 1 crit. Melee save on Covert is 5. Save all the regulars. They get 2 crits, which is going to be... well, actually, this wouldn't be there because they were disarmed, which I didn't think about, so they wouldn't have been able to use that expertise. So they just got 1 crit, which is going to be 2 damage, which puts me to 1 shy of wound, so they might as well go for it again. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which I guess now I can use expertise because they did it on the last attack. 4 expertise. On melee is 2 crits and a shove. Crits. 5. 5. Any crit downgrading? No, we just have a bunch of saves, so doing any good because they got 3 crits and they got a shove. I'll just push this fellow back, and they've got 3 points. And we're just gonna go straight down the. Well, they only need 1 actually, so I need. That's not gonna be enough. We're gonna go. Yeah, down the middle, which is just going to be... Or no, we're going to go up the top, which is going to be a disarm and an expose. So they're going to have to deal with 1 of those and 3 damage, which is going to win them anyway. So they are wounded. So that's going to give 1 momentum. And they have 2 objectives. 1, 2. Back to me. Got Din Djarin, which I don't love. I don't want to dive down into the mix on the middle point, to be honest. I think we're gonna move. Now we can spend a force. Each character's unit may dash, and if all allied units are, which they are, bounty hunter, Mandalorian, scoundrel, 1 character in his unit may immediately make a 5-dice attack, or may choose an enemy character at range 3 and push them range 2 away. Well, the NIGHTSISTERS are technically invisible, but we're going to do that anyways. We're going to go dash here to take that. And now do we want to make a 5-dice attack, or do we want to push the Mandos? I think we make a 5-dice attack, because then I can melee them anyways. So I might be able to get a wound through here, depending. We're gonna swap into actually we'll stay in this, bring in cold. So 5-dice attack. Okay, that's great. 3 expertise in melee is a crit and a hit. Hit and a crit. Mandos have a melee save of 5. Love it. 2 expertise in Chala is 2 saves, so doesn't matter. We're going to get 2 through. That's going to be 3 damage and a shove. 3 damage. And a Shove. So I still have only done one action technically, which was moving, and then I've used a skill. When a character in this unit makes a melee attack as part of a combat action, before dice are rolled, this unit may use this ability. Add 2 dice to the attack pool. Attack roll for each enemy character other than the target that is not wounded and is engaged. So, unfortunately, it doesn't apply to me because the Night Sisters are wounded, so that kind of sucks. I guess we're just going to do a regular melee attack on them, which is just going to be 6. Two expertise is going to be a crit and a hit. And a hit. Mandos have melee defense of 5. 2 expertise. 2 saves. Get 2 through again, which is going to be 3 more damage and a shove. So not quite a wound, but that's okay. Shove them pretty good. That definitely gives me that. That's going to give me 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Gar-Saxon. Gar-Saxon is pinned. Great. Again, I don't know if I can, but I'm going to do it anyway. Well, he has a tactics at the start of this thing. Choose an allied Mandalorian character to jump. I'm just going to use himself and not jump to get rid of this pin. And he's going to move. Or I guess he's going to spend the force to jump. To use his jetpack. To come up here. Take this objective. So he just popped back up. And then we've got a range of 5, which we should be well within. Tell you what, I hardly ever touch that range 3 tool. He's not near Mandalorians, but I'm going to focus and shoot, which is going to give me 2 extra dice, I believe. In addition to the 1 attack die added. So he's going to get 3 extra range dice. Because he's got Sharpshooter 2. When a character in this unit makes a melee attack, doesn't matter. The target does not. No, and after he focuses, he gets a hunker. So he's going to have his hunker back. And he's going to have a ranged attack of, what, 6, 7, 8, 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I think we send this at the Covert Mandos only need 1 more wound, and they're exposed. It seems like a lot of dice to roll at something that only needs 1, but it is a guaranteed wound, but I don't think... Well, to be fair, we kind of have to get what we can right this second. And I feel like I have the potential to get enough through to wound the armor, which would be bigger. But the Covert Mandos, we're going to go with the Covert Mandos. Screw it. Here we go. Wow, 1 miss and 9 dice. That's rough. 1 expertise is 1 crit. Well, I'd say they're probably as good as wounded here. And they're exposed. So we got a range defense of 4 whole die. Okay. They don't save anything. That's tough. That's going to give 2, 3. Shove, pin, strain. We'll go with the bottom. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. So they're... Oh, wait, no, they got wounded already. They got wounded by something. Where did they get wounded? So 4 and 2. That has to go on the armor because they're already wounded. I feel like I messed something up here at some point. I don't remember when they got wounded. To be honest, I kind of zoned out. Okay, well, this has got to go on the armor. The range isn't an issue. We rolled 2 misses, 2 saves. She has a ranged defense of 5. I'll roll 1 more dice for her. Save. So we had 2 expertise and a save. The 2 expertise is going to give us 2 saves and a crit downgrade, which would retroactively have given us 3 saves. We'll get rid of 3 of those and downgrade a crit, but that doesn't matter. So we still got 4, 5, and that's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a strain token, which is enough to wound. Wound. And I've still got 1 and 1, but this is contested now. Or no, it's not actually, because of the Night Sisters are wounded, or whatever. So that's still only going to give them 2 points. So now technically, it doesn't matter what I do, because I still have priority 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I only need 2 slots. So that is game over. Let me shut this for a second. So that's actually going to be game right there. I won struggle 1 and struggle 2. Now, I don't know if I'm just really messing stuff up or if I'm just not playing against myself super well. Because I have yet... no, I think I went 3 struggles 1 game. But it seems like winning the first struggle kind of leads you to winning the second struggle. And it seems to be progressively getting not as close. Now I know I'm playing like one big cohesive team and I'm playing a weird split team on the other side, but you know. But I still Mando doesn't feel great, which is disappointing. I don't, to be fair, I feel like I'm really not using him correctly. Same thing with Greff Karga. The 2 of them feel pretty bad, but I'm not sure why. The armor of the Covert Mandos and Paz Vizsla, so the This Is the Way squad pack has been really, 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 really good. But, and IG's also, I like pretty good. So those 4, but Greff and Mando I'm a little disappointed with. He's got good defensives through his expertise. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm sitting on the Mandoverse people after playing a handful of games. I do want to get some more mission packs, and we'll do that at some point. Savage I like quite a bit. Mother Talzin I like quite a bit. So the Night Sister pack is also seeming fairly interesting, and we'll probably do that some more soon-ish next time we play. So we'll probably be here next Thursday, let's be honest. it's something to do. And the oddball time somebody does pop in and talk, it's pretty nice. So we'll probably keep doing it. Why not? Hopefully next week we'll be doing Halo Flashpoint, so we'll see on that front. Again, there's 1 day left on the giveaway for Halo Flashpoint. If you want some Arbiter proxies, that is ending tomorrow, and I'll go live probably down here on Monday just to draw the giveaway winners, and I'll get those sent out. There will not be a giveaway next month, most likely. I just don't have anything to give away. So that is going to do it for this one. If y'all sat through all this, I appreciate y'all being here. If you have thoughts, ideas, anything like that, leave them in the comments down below. I would love to hear them. If you want to see certain maps, certain composition, stuff like that, let me know. If you enjoyed this kind of stuff, hit the like button, hit the sub button. It helps a lot. All right. I will see you guys, I guess, on Monday to announce some giveaway winners. All right. Thanks, guys.
The power of the dark side.